I tried to do that intro twice and then realized I wasn't recording. This is going to go great.
You were literally too stupid to insult.
All right, listen up, you degenerates. Today, we are only going to be talking about NASCAR. F1 was like watching a gorilla try to solve a Rubik's Cube while wearing oven mitts. IndyCar has left us like your dad going to get smokes, and football is back. But this isn't a football podcast or channel or whatever the heck this is. No, this is a safe place for low-life scum who like watching cars go in circles and screaming, "Race hell, praise Dale," in a non-ironic manner. Anyway, Denny Hamlin leads the field to green in the Enjoy Illinois 300, and here we go. Kyle Busch spun out as a sacrifice to the NASCAR gods. Kyle Busch has gone from dominant and hated to present and forgotten. Josh Berry's playoffs go from terrible to dog shit when he gets spun by Chase Elliott and tears his car to shreds. For this crime against the Wood brothers, Chase was sentenced to the most humiliating community service one can imagine, massaging Jim Francis' shoulders and whispering in his ear that he's doing a great job and the sport isn't falling apart. Lap 61 brings with it an absolutely heinous hate crime against all of Mexico. Chase Briscoe decided that winning stage 1 was not enough. No, he had to spark the Second Mexican-American War by taking out Daniel Suarez. I'm not saying that Chase Briscoe is a CIA plant, but what I'm saying is that the CIA killed JFK. On lap 76, the Dillon brothers had a ding-dong at the back of the field. Austin is below Ty and crashes him out. After the race, Ty Dillon stomped his foot and told Richard Childress, "Pap, Austin spun me," before being reminded that he's been written off as a member of Richard's family. Ryan Blaney and Kyle Larson are fighting for 5th when Kyle decides to full send it into the turn. This sends him up the track where he clips the left rear of Ryan's car and spins him out. Kyle, your brake's the one on the left there, bud. SVG had himself a spin again, further proving he cannot drive in an oval. Denny Hamlin would go on to win the race, his 5th on the year. No. And look, is Denny Hamlin one of those guys you either love or love to hate? Yes, he is. But does any other driver right now bring the heat each and every week like Denny? As in generating emotion about the sport and its fans? No, it's not even close. He's the man right now. Even Joey Logano, and fuck Joey Logano, doesn't seem to draw the boos from the fans like Denny. What I'm saying is somebody needs to protect this man at all costs. Anyway, this race was a race. The car still sucks, the world is still round, and communism is still terrible. All things are the same. Now let's talk about the Bristol Night Race. And going into this, I had zero hopes. The spring race was dog shit, and short track racing is so fucked, the races are going to start streaming on adult websites. But then, God decides to show mercy on the NASCAR faithful, and changes the temperature of the track by like 5 degrees. That cooling turned a snooze fest of a race into the Hunger Games. AJ Allmendinger got himself pole position and would hold that lead for 23 laps, before being bullied back into his usual spot, the back of the field. On lap 76, Josh Berry's car would burst into flames like the Hindenburg, and he would drive it to his box. Now, I'm no firefighter, but they appeared to pull out this tiny-ass fire extinguisher to put it out. Unfortunately, the fire and smoke forces him out of the car, ending his race and officially knocking him out of the playoffs. Poor Josh Berry. He won Vegas on pure speed, strategy, and talent, only to not finish a race in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, listen. We fucked up.
By this time in the race, it was clear we were in for a tire race, much like last spring. Cars were coming on pit road with more cords exposed than your crappy job at cable management in your living room. This means we may actually be in for a decent short track race, because drivers are going to be able to pass each other on the tire difference, and they're actually going to have to be smart and manage their tires. But this only works if we get some decent green flag stints.
In the business, we call this foreshadowing.
Alex Bowman confirms he is in fact the 4th musketeer of Hendrick Motorsports when he gets into Riley Herbst and spins out. This is bad for Alex because coming into the race, he's on the wrong side of the cut line. Not a great time to drive like your normal dumbass self there, boss. Lap 147 would see Riley Herbst punting Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who spins out. Michael McDowell and Eric Jones would also spin out to dodge Ricky. I recommended after the spring Atlanta race that Riley should be shot into the sun for crashing people. But obviously, loading him onto a rocket and shooting him into a nearly 10,000 degree Fahrenheit ball of nuclear fusion is not enough. Obviously, we need something a little bit more dramatic, so Riley Herbst was sent to the Marianas Trench in the Ocean Gate sub. R.I.P. Riley. I can't wait to see you Houdini your way out of certain death this time to come back and crash more people next week. Shane Van Gisbergen has himself yet another spin after getting way up the track and into the marbles. And by marbles, I mean like literal strips of peeled off rubber from the tire self-destructing faster than the Kansas City Chiefs season. Like Bowman, SVG is on the outside looking in, and pretty much needs to win to advance. Spoiler alert, he would not win, and would go on to spin again, winning him this week's This Is Why No One Likes You, You Big Dumb Dipshit award, due to my inflexible rule of if you spin or crash twice, you win the award. Don't yell at me, I don't make the rules here. Well, yes I do, but it's a good rule, so hush.
You will respect my authority!
The spin parade would continue, with Cole Custer and Noah Gregson joining the party, before Chase Elliott crashes into the wall. Chase was doing nothing wrong, being completely perfect in all ways as he is, and brings it into the corner ahead of John Hunter Nemechek and Denny Hamlin. Now, Denny Hamlin is a no-good dirty communist or something, and bumps into John Hunter Nemechek, and being the smart boys we are, we know that using the law of conservation of energy, we know that energy imparted on Nemechek's bumper has to go somewhere. That somewhere was sent to Chase Elliott's car, crashing him out of the race. Now, as the reasonable, level-headed, critical thinker I am, I see this as a racing incident. But the Chase Elliott fan in me sees it as an act of treason by Denny Hamlin.
It's treason, then.
So R.I.P. Denny, I hope you enjoy Guantanamo Bay. Bubba Wallace decided that Ricky Stenhouse Jr. had not spun enough and clips him. Then Kyle Larson would spin and Denny Hamlin would get into the wall at the same time. This completely destroyed any remaining tire strategy any more than it already was, and sends Denny to pit road. On the ensuing restart, Denny Hamlin would discover that his pit crew is as consistent as NASCAR's officiating, and his right front tire would come off, meaning Denny would get into AJ Allmendinger and collect William Byron. Austin Cindric would catch fire the same way as Josh Berry, followed by Chad Fincham with 33 to go. And once again, the response to these fires were as speedy and effective as your normal federal program.
I'm from the government, and I'm here to help.
With 13 to go, Cole Custer hits Bubba Wallace into the wall, bringing out one final caution. After the pit stops, Carson Hocevar was leading with Zane Smith and Alex Bowman right behind. Christopher Bell, Brad Keselowski, and Joey Logano, man, fuck that guy, fuck Joey Logano. And Joey Logano were behind on newer tires. Here we go, a 4-lap shootout to the end with a good mix of strategy. Christopher Bell drives right around the 3 leaders and fucks off into the distance. And credit to Brad Keselowski. On the final lap, Brad smacks Bell in turn 3, trying to move him out of the way, but Christopher shrugs him off like a lion playing with his cub. Just a much older cub, and Brad's a former champ, and Christopher Bell looks like he's 12. Shrugs him off like Derrick Henry shrugging off tacklers. So Christopher Bell wins, Brad Keselowski can't even crash people right, and Alex Bowman, Austin Dillon, Shane Van Gisbergen, and Josh Berry are officially eliminated from the playoffs. Alexa, play the sound of silence. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. My Alexa actually did it. I should have thought that joke out better. So that was the Bristol Night Race. A reminder of what short track racing can look like if we push Goodyear and NASCAR to not accept shitty racing. But don't worry, I'm sure NASCAR will take all the wrong lessons from this again, and will double down on the next gen car being amazing again, and refuse to admit there's a glaring issue with the series and ignore the core fans again. Remind me, what's the definition of insanity? Let's go to the awards before I lose my last fuck to give. The I'm not saying I told you so, but I fucking told you so award goes to me for saying Shane Van Gisbergen would not go far in the playoffs. 32nd, 25th, 26th. Championship threat, my ass. The way to bully the smaller team award goes to Chase Elliott for crashing Josh Berry. Chase obviously didn't intend to crash Josh. He just got loose. But if that was literally anyone else crashing Josh Berry, you can bet there would be burning effigies of them. I guess it really does pay to be NASCAR royalty. The first ever Josh Berry award goes to Josh Berry for having an absolute dogshit stretch of races. crashing on Darlington's bump, getting dumped by Chase Elliott, and taking light of fire under your ass a bit too literally. The "this is why no one likes you, you big dumb dipshit, but for real this time" award goes to the playoff format. Imagine this. What if every race meant the same to the championship? And to completely go off script here, shout out to Mark Martin for doing the Lord's work. Like, just handing it to NASCAR. Just handing it to NASCAR.
I'd like to take a moment to review the several ways in which you're a douchebag.
Get the fuck out of my office!
Yes, sir.
Before I end your career, asshole.
Yes, sir. Yeah, my friend, I'm gonna need you for a second.
God damn it! My loyalty!
Also, shout out to Jeff Gluck for on X. I saw, or Twitter. It's not X, on Twitter. I saw something about, a snippet from him and What's His Nuts podcast, The Teardown. And the other dude's like, I forget who he is. He seems like a dipshit. It's like, the playoff format, we're having really good, races this year and a really good competition. You can't guarantee this all the time. And Jeff just like, yeah, what if it was just like a legitimate champion? Do you see the problem here? Like, do we see the problem here? The, hey, can we try not crashing award goes to the whole field at Bristol. Over a quarter of this race was completed under the caution. 14 different cautions. That's disgusting! So to review, Chase Elliott is my favorite, but may be tarred and feathered. SVG can't drive in a circle. The Dillon brothers are dipshits. Goodyear tires fall apart faster than the Roman Empire, and that's a good thing. And the world is crumbling around us, and it's all due to Dale Sr. dying. Thank you, and remember, raise hell, praise Dale.